Hey guys, Ponce here, and with the Legends of Runeterra open beta starting up tomorrow, I figured to make a video here talking about generally what each region kind of does, like the general theme, roughly the intended playstyle behind each region that's currently in the game in the beta. So hopefully this is especially useful for people who never played the game and kind of want to get an idea of what sort of deck they want to test out, what region might work best for them, their personal playstyles, what they enjoy, that kind of thing. Now keep in mind, no region has like an exclusive, it must be played this way, this is the only way you can do it kind of thing. Especially when you start mixing with other regions, there are various things. I'm just trying to get across the general-ish theme of how everything sort of tends to work. So let's just go over to the league website here. I guess I might as well shrink my webcam down a bit so you don't see as much of me. There we go. So let's just go sequentially here. Also, I'm going to be using a lot of Magic the Gathering references, so hopefully you guys have played that. I feel like if you're interested in this, probably you might have at least some baseline Magic experience. I'm not going to say anything too complicated. I'm just general comparisons. For example, Shadow Isles is, as you might guess, for those of you familiar with Magic the Gathering, very black-like. It's sort of like a black deck. Also, actually, before we get into everything, I should probably mention in this game, it really feels like if we were to take that Magic comparison a bit further, it feels like blue has been splashed into every region, at least a little bit in varying degrees. Although some regions are much more blue-like than others. But in any case, the core of Shadow Isles, as you might guess, is kind of a black deck. The idea is a lot of the stuff dies, and either you don't care if it dies, or you actively want your cards to die because it'll come back as stronger, or they're going to be buffing other things. So generally it's like a very kind of relentless, it's difficult to stop because it's going to keep coming at you thing, so you just kind of gotta smack it down hard to stop it sort of thing. So kind of like, I guess, a Magic Gathering black zombie-ish deck with lots of revival mechanics, that kind of thing. It's got some board wipe. Is very black and death-like. Again, not anything too surprising there. Okay, moving on to Ionia. Now, Ionia, I realize I just said it feels like all regions have at least some amount of blue splashed in them. Ionia probably feels the most blue-like. It's sort of a tricksy spell kind of weirdo deck. It's not quite as brute force as the other ones. There's a lot of returning other people's opponents to the hand, slowing them down, doing some weird things. I mean, it's the only deck with a region with a counter spell. So for those who are not familiar with what that is, a person plays a spell. He's like, no, I play this. I think it's, I don't remember what this is actually called in this game. Because I just kept calling it counter spell. Maybe it is called counter spell. I don't think it is. But, you know, you go, oh no, I just play the counter spell. You don't get to do that kind of thing. Now, granted, again, there are other ways to play it. It's not all just recalling stuff to hand and stunning. You're seeing that's a major mechanic here listed on the screen. Like, you can do weird things, like there's a lot of things that have like a stealth mechanic that bypass blocking and switching characters in and out and cycling buffs. So there's a lot of strange combo potential. So in that sense, also kind of very blue-like. So it's sort of, yeah, your tricksy, finessey sort of deck, if you will, or region. But again, bear in mind when I say these things, you can mix regions, so it's not, you know, that hard and fast. All right, next, moving on to Piltover Zon. So very spell intensive, which again sounds bluish, but it's more kind of a red aggro burn deck a lot of the time. It also does a lot of other things, like you can buff up your minions into very big or very large things by using spells, and has a lot of finicky things. So anything that tends to involve a lot of spells can get a bit finicky and combo-y. There's a lot of discard mechanics and stuff, which I suppose is also a bit kind of burn red-like. But at its core, I think what you're going to be seeing a lot of with Piltover Zon is a Magic Gathering red burn. Or maybe I should explain burn. Just nuke the other person down with spells kind of deck. It's a very big component of what's going on here with Zon. Okay, next, Demacia. This one should come as no surprise for the Magic the Gathering comparison. It's essentially a white deck. It's a white... I don't know, I feel like of all the regions, the comparison between Magic and this is probably the strongest between white and Demacia, just because it's like, it's your basic kind of soldier, very strong and efficient cards, but nothing too crazy going on there. Everything it does is very straightforward. It tends to control the opponent in very direct ways, like preventing them from just like, you can't do anything, or you know, my soldiers are just tough and they're going to walk into you. They're both tough and relatively strong. So it's pretty... I mean, simple makes it sound like a kind of a derogatory thing. I don't necessarily mean it in that way, but it's very basic in what it does, and it's pretty straightforward, and it comes at you as you might expect, like the Imperial Demacian Order kind of thing would, and marches forth on you. So Noxus is a bit of a twist on that theme. It's kind of a little bit like that, but more, again, kind of, I guess, an aggro red deck kind of thing. Maybe Goblin might be not... Well, it's a bit Goblin-like, I suppose. But typically a lot of very high offensive stats, low defensive stats, and is generally just trying to burn the opponent down as quickly as possible in very kind of very physical sort of way. Has a lot of creature removal, just like, your creatures are dead, or I'm going to deal a lot of damage to this creature and it'll probably die. Also ways of damaging the Nexus rather directly. And so it really wants to kill you very quick. So, you know, again, thematically it makes a lot of sense for Noxus, a very aggressive sort of playstyle. Freljord, again, we're going to talk about blue here. It seems like I mentioned blue a lot, but it isn't really exclusive to that. It is kind of have that blue control element to it. There's a lot of things that, you know, with the Freljord theme, it freezes, so stuff can't deal damage. It sort of locks you down. It's very control-ish. But it also kind of has a very, very strong, I suppose, beast deck component to it, again, to compare to Magic. A lot of, like, very powerful creatures that tend to get stronger through various means. They tend to be pretty tough. They'll have mechanics like regeneration, where they get their health back. Braum is an example. He regenerates himself after the end of each round. So if you don't outright kill him in a round, he just gets his health back, kind of thing. So in that sense... It's got kind of a blue, almost green feel to it, I guess. So a lot of just very beefy brute force stuff, but not in quite as straightforward a way as Noxus. It's got some more tricksy weirdness to it. Alright, so anyway, that's like I said, again, a general overview. I don't mean this to be, this is the way this deck works and that's it kind of thing. Just sort of a rough understanding, and that obviously changes the more you start mixing various regions. For example, my favorite deck from the beta was a Shadow Isle Ionia deck mix. So it was kind of like, I don't know, some sort of blue-black mix thing, where it was the sort of the relentless, I don't care if my stuff dies, sometimes I actually want it to die nature of Shadow Isle, and then some of the utility pumped into that from Ionia. And I found that a lot of fun. It was, like I said, it was my favorite deck, and I look forward to playing that one again. So hope you guys are able to find a playstyle that suits you guys. And that's, of course, the important thing, too. You know, it's not all just what's the best meta deck or whatever. It's like, you know, if you don't like playing it, there's not a lot of point. So, yeah, hope you guys have fun with the beta, which starts up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Hope this is informative, and goodbye.